Hi, welcome to this week's Whiteboard Wednesday. My name is Alfred Chung, Senior Solutions Marketing Manager at Rapid7, and I'm here today to talk about bridging the gap between security and app developers. Effective application security requires more than just identifying application vulnerabilities. It also means fixing them. And in application security teams are typically the ones that are scanning the apps to find the vulnerabilities, but it's development teams that actually have to fix them. So in order to have an effective application security program, there needs to be careful coordination between the security team and the development team. And these two organizations traditionally have been fairly siloed with very different processes, very different language and terminology, and oftentimes very different goals. So in order to bridge the gap between application developers and your security team, there are these three pillars: common goals, streamlined workflows, and integrated tools. The first pillar is common goals. So common goals effectively just means security and development need to get on the same page as far as what's the priority of security issues. And that means understanding security as a critical component of quality. And security teams can help development teams in achieving this understanding by introducing them to security trainings, for example, secure coding practice trainings, or even just scheduling lunch and learns internally to train or educate the development team on recent breaches, common application vulnerability types, and why application vulnerability, or rather, why application security is so important today. The second pillar in this bridge is streamlined workflows. And that means not just having certain processes in place that are understood by both parties when it comes time to remediate vulnerabilities, but also developing or having a shared set of common language and terminology to use. So in security, it's a vulnerability, but in development, it's a bug. And going to your developers with a list of vulnerabilities might not get the same attention as if you were to go to them with a list of bugs. So having that common set of language is important. Also, understanding Agile development is also key. How do the tasks get prioritized and assigned to the individual developers? And who are the stakeholders involved in making sure that developers are working on the right things? Because ultimately, security teams are introducing new work when they deliver a new report of vulnerabilities to development. So understanding how you can work with the various stakeholders involved to get those issues worked on and resolved is going to be critical in making sure that the security issues do get addressed. And finally, integrated tools. So the integrated tools is what actually puts these concepts into practice and makes it real on a day-to-day basis. So there are security tools that enable integration with the ticketing systems that developers work from. So like Jira, for example. Security tools that can directly import vulnerabilities into Jira such that the developers are seeing and working on security issues right alongside the functional bugs and features of the application that they're building. There are also continuous integration solutions like Jenkins that security tools can integrate with. And continuous integration solutions will effectively run a set of automated tests to check the functionality of the application. And by integrating with continuous integration, those automated test runs can also include tests of security for the application so that security issues get identified sooner and worked on by the development team earlier. So that's it for this week's Whiteboard Wednesday. We'll talk to you next week.